Oh good, you're here. Aurelius Bones, back again to celebrate the holidays with you. This is my first holiday season so far from family, and Jelly and I are figuring out how to make it special. We had to leave a lot of things back in the flatlands when we moved out here, including our Christmas tree. Then we started receiving packages from our family all over the country, but we had nowhere to put them. So let's make a Christmas tree worthy of this life-changing year and this studio apartment. Let's do it. I decided I wanted to make a palm tree this time around. I found this Particleboard Plaque at the Dollar King. I've been pretty impressed by some of the quality I've found at the dollar stores lately. Not everything, but there are definitely some pieces you can use and build off of. I don't want to waste my good wire on something that will be covered up. So I'm going to bulk up the trunk with pipe cleaners and aluminum foil. Pipe cleaners are a go-to building supply for me because they're durable, flexible, and coverable, not to mention pretty cheap. I usually cover them in cloth and something flexible like liquid latex. This keeps the figure flexible and with posability. It's limited posability, but you can still pose it. In fact, as I was twisting these things together, I realized I've made a palm tree once before. Sigh. But that too is back in the flatlands. I want this piece to be a bit sturdier, so we will be sacrificing posability. That's okay as long as it looks good in the pose it stays in, right? Right. I'm only using the hot glue to hold it in place while I form the foil around it. Don't worry. This puppy is getting several layers of different types of glue. We may need to sculpt a creature hiding behind it, but that will have to wait. Focus! We need the tree first. See how floppy it is? I was a little worried I'd be left with a drunken palm tree, so I rolled the foil several times and was liberal with the hot glue. When wrapping the sides, I only use hot glue because the foil was moldable and compressible, so this worked out nicely. I got these silicone fingertips from the Dollar Tree. My fingers must be bigger than normal though, because they don't really fit, so I used them to kind of pat down where the hot glue is. It worked, so that's fine. I'm using the 3-in-1 glue that dries really fast to reinforce the base. I'm planning on using metal to cover this tree, so I want it to be sturdy. Between this glue and the hot glue, I was covered with glue spider webs for 2 days. I'm trying out a second camera angle. What do you guys think? Is it making you motion sick? I hope not. Using that technique of hot glue to hold the piece in place long enough for the real glue to dry. Listen, I don't want my stuff falling apart all over the place, and hot glue has burned me one too many times. Literally? Now I'm laying down bigger sheets of foil to add texture, and, once again, reinforce the base. I'm folding the foil over itself just to make it fit the base and add more texture. My only regret is not adding color to this foil. I still may, but I did not for this video. Hot glue is flexible, but it's rigid enough that in combination with the foil and the pipe cleaners, I might be able to use this as a weapon. used a piece of green felt to simulate grass and cover all the ground texture I created. Still a little wobbly, but the metal scales should help with that. Now, I put down the hot glue and press the felt down while it's still hot. This gets the fibers all tangled up in glue and spreads the glue thinner to pick up the foil's texture. I made sure to glue down the edges and then I trimmed the felt. A good and sturdy base for any Christmas tree. The last time I made a palm tree, I found a dried plant or seed pod in a pick from Walmart, I believe. I was able to disassemble that plant to create a palm-like texture. All I have with me today are these bronze-colored dragon scales, so that's what our tree will be covered with. Full disclosure! After I filmed this part, I went back and took the scales and glue off and used the same technique but with E6000 and hot glue. Just use E6000 as your strong adhesive. It doesn't seem like it's gonna hold at first, but the next day, your bond will be solid as a rock, even on something like this mess. I love using ostrich feathers. Normally I use them for hair, but I thought the ends could be trimmed to look like palm leaves. I'm making small wefts that I can save for later to give me room for the palm's stem. I like this 3-in-1 stuff for this activity because it dries quickly and it doesn't change the look of the weft on the side opposite the glue. So if you're careful, you can hide it. I want the leaves to be about 3 inches long so as not to overwhelm the trunk. Now that the glue has dried, I can cut off the wefts and trim the leaves. Don't worry, I'll use the rest of the feathers for something. I trimmed the stems, but they were still pretty rigid, so I'm gluing the stem to a piece of wire to make the leaves posable. I'm gluing the stem to the wire, then wrapping both together with green wire to hold the pieces in place while the glue dries, and bring some color back to the stem. I felt like having just the feathers was not enough, and I wanted to tie the piece together, so I decided to make some leaves out of twisted wire. I drew an approximation of a palm leaf, printed it in 2 sizes, and made 3 of each. But don't worry, I'm not gonna make you walk that entire path with me. Phew! This was pretty tedious, but really satisfying when I got them to look the way I wanted. Bubba kept checking in on me. I think he was as excited to see it all together as I was. I've known about this technique for a while, but it's the first time I've ever done it, and I feel like this could be a game changer for my chainmail sculptures. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll link them down below. I'm really proud of those sculptures. I wanted the last bit of wire to run up the middle because I'm spiderwebbing some more of that green wire between the margins of the leaves. Then I shaped the wire to fit with the other leaves. Now to assemble! The plan is to do this in layers, alternating between feathers and wire leaves. I was not messing around with these branches. I used a combination of hot glue and E6000 to secure them down, then wrapped each layer with wire for added security. I tried to space them out evenly, but worried about posing them after everything was dry. Do you have a special way to celebrate this time of year? My mom's side of the family celebrates Wigilia, which is a traditional Polish dinner on Christmas Eve. Maybe next year I could do a video about those traditions. But I would love to hear how you celebrate, even if it's an anti-celebration. We usually get Chinese food on my dad's side of the family to celebrate Christmas, in March. So however you make this time of year special, I hope it's a good one, celebrating in your favorite way. There were some really good suggestions in the comments of the last video on how to cheer yourself up if you're feeling a little low. Exercise, reasonable naps, and kitty snuggles were some of the best. Jelly and I were lucky enough to live close to the lake back in Chicago. During the first part of the pandemic, when nobody knew what was going on, we would walk to the beach and just sit by the water for 10 minutes. The rhythm of the waves and the wind on my face really helped calm the anxiety, even if it was only for a little while. We haven't made it to the beach yet since moving out here, but I'm excited to be close to the water again. If you have any suggestions on tickling your despair into submission, please leave them down in the comments. Oh my goodness, it's lovely. I'm so pleased. And it came together fairly quickly. For me. I added a felt scale every so often to the trunk to tie it to the felt of the base. But I gotta be honest with y'all, I think it will work for this year, but I don't think it's finished yet. Well, of course it's not finished yet. We still need to make ornaments. I got these miniature glass spheres for another project, but they came in a pack of like 30, and I think they will be perfect for ornaments on our tree. I'm really missing the snow, so I'm using these little snowflake confetti and fake snow to turn these baubles into snow globes. I'm using different colors of snowflakes to bridge my love of snow with my love of flowers, and the flowers that are still growing out here in the land of sunshine, even in December. I seal the top of the bauble with UV resin because it's quick and strong and reliable. And then I make a little wire hook to hang it from. I ended up making about 7 of these. These little glass spheres are great. I will list the products I use down below. I really love these colored lights. I know you aren't supposed to as an adult, but I usually have a string of these up all year round. I just like color! When I was little, the Christmas music that we had was from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So I grew up listening to Bing Crosby and Elvis sing Christmas carols. Those are my favorite, and what I'm singing and dancing to. I would include the audio, but I don't want to deal with copyright stuff. I can link some of the music down in the description below. It's just really pretty music. I had to stand on our bed to reach the top of the window, and I injured my ankle a little while ago, so I wasn't able to display the lights as well as I would have liked. But they are up, and they are beautiful, and I've had them on every day since putting them up. I got a little string of fairy lights whose colors work with the snow globe snowflakes. It was kind of a pain to string these lights though. I had the camera attached to where Bubba was napping, so he makes his presence known. I do prefer the warmer lights, but I'm very pleased with what I was able to put together. My favorite thing to do during Christmas is to lay down under the Christmas tree and look up through the branches at all the beautiful colors and lights. Makes me smile. So, how would you rate my Christmas tree? On a scale from fantastically festive to gloomy Grinch. I'm pleased to have a tree and decorations for Christmas, and I'm happy I found a way to make this year special for myself. You have to take the time to make things special sometimes. So even if you don't celebrate Christmas, or you can't be with family, I hope you do something a little special for yourself this weekend. You deserve it. We deserve it. I have another video I'm hoping to get up tomorrow, but it might be late. I hope you will forgive me and enjoy it regardless. That's all for today, my friends. Take care, and I'll see you next time.